Now, unyielding faith is tough because I'm going to give you some examples of things that you probably shouldn't do, but that I have done. Maybe you'll kind of go through this. I got this crazy idea to start a DJ business. Like I said, I had this backpack. I think the backpack is what sold America on it. It was awesome. Okay, but I decided I'm going to make cold calls. Anybody ever made cold calls? Anybody working at a call center? Inbound, outbound. How's that going?
No, I don't work there.
Did you used to? Was it inbound?
Well, I didn't work there. I did like for calling, for elections.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bold move right there. How was that?
It was enlightening.
Was it one part yes, one part never talk to me again kind of thing?
Well, you just experience how people are.
Okay. Well, here's what I found out through cold calling, because I wanted to start. Now, if you were a DJ service and you wanted to book events, what would be some places you would call? Just brainstorm with me. Somebody. Who would you call?
Elementary school.
What's that?
High school.
High schools. Okay, let's talk high schools. Who else?
Churches.
Churches. Who else?
Venues.
What's that?
Venues.
Yeah, venues. Okay. And for some reason, none of these great ideas were at all enlightened to me. I thought apartments. Why? Why did I think apartments? Somebody tell me.
More people.
Because I live there.
Oh.
Talk to me about that, right? We only think about what we know. Right? I mean, my husband is not nice, therefore all men are not nice. You know what I'm saying? We have the blinder on. We don't have optimism. We've got whatever. So I'm cold calling apartments, trying to convince them to book DJs for the residents. Insanity. However, through this process, because I'm reading all about unyielding faith, I'm reading Napoleon Hill, and he says, behind every failure there's a seed of an equivalent benefit. Behind every failure there's a seed of an equivalent benefit. So I'm thinking, there has got to be some serious equivalent benefits here. There's some vast benefits that I am gaining from these calls. I'm calling, hey, is this Karen? Yeah, Karen, hey, this is Clay up here with a DJ Connection. I was just calling to see, do you ever have resident appreciation parties? No, we don't. As a matter of fact, how do you know my name? Oh, sorry, keep going, keep going, keep going. Eventually I think, I got to make her laugh. If I can make her laugh, then I keep the call alive longer. So I'm like, hey, who is the person in charge of scheduling our apartment pool parties? Oh, well, our person, they think I'm a resident. That's Karen. Oh, Karen, okay. Is this the amazing Karen? Yes. Well, Karen, I've been told by the residents, by our fellow neighbors here, that you are an incredible coordinator of events. Well, yeah, I am. Well, I just was curious, what is it that has made you so well known in the apartment community? People love you. Well, I will tell you, and she just goes on, talking about herself, because her favorite subject was herself. Just like me. When we get a picture, big group picture, who do we see? Ourselves. We got this huge group picture, like, where am I? And you're like, but here am I. I don't care where you're at. Look at me. That's me. That's my name. I'm in the picture. Wedding photos. We're like, look how good I look. And you're going, honey, I had my mouth open in that photo. It doesn't matter. Look at me. That's what we did. So I found out people's favorite subject was themselves. Now I know that, and now when I do sales training, I teach people, people's favorite subject is themselves. So if you're going to sell a product, ask them a ton of questions and let them talk about themselves. Okay? So when I sell real estate now, I do consulting with a real estate company. We always ask, because these are multimillionaires who are buying huge properties, we say, tell us about how you got started. Well, I'll tell you how I got started. 25 years ago, my wife and I. And you get, really, so you and your wife, yeah, I did. And then 10 minutes later, you can put the phone down, you get a coffee, get your teeth cleaned, whatever. You'll come back, and that's why we're successful. Really. And just keep going. Does everybody relate to that, though? That's what it is. So I had to learn through, but if I didn't have unyielding faith, I promise you, that I would have just put the phone down and quit. But the only reason I had unyielding faith was because I studied the lives of Carnegie, Ford, Edison, and they told me have unyielding faith. That's the only reason I wouldn't have had unyielding faith. My parents didn't raise me and say, have unyielding faith. When you fail at a business, start again. So I'm just going to give you some examples here. I think I have some examples of prolific failures so you don't feel so bad about yourself if you've had some initial failures. Here we go. I started a landscaping business. Okay, I live in a largely Caucasian community. How many Caucasian dudes have you seen mowing lawns lately? Maybe one? Maybe, okay. 1/16 of a Caucasian we've seen mowing a lawn. And so I live in a Caucasian community. Hard to find Caucasians to mow lawns, which is my workforce that's available. So I found out real quick I'm going to have to price myself out of it unless I want to hire people that aren't necessarily documented, which could get me in some trouble. So $20,000 of lawn equipment, lawn landscaping equipment later, bombed. But I learned a lot of things, okay? Then I thought I could use used cooking oil and convert it into diesel fuel and sell it. So do you guys know how they make, do you guys know what methanol is used for, like meth labs and things like that? What's the primary component used to convert cooking grease into fuel? So I'm having methanol delivered to my house. I don't know if you can see how this is a problem. Tons of methanol delivered to my house. And then I've got a wife, and I have some kids, and I'm having, all sorts of chemicals delivered to my house on pallets that are explosive. So then, the neighborhood guy, he's kind of he does all the zoning. He just kind of alerts me that, hey, I realize that you're maybe into this whole, I realize you're not doing a meth lab, but you can't have pallets of methanol delivered to a home. Oh. So I had this thing called the Fuel Meister. That's a picture of it. Huge apparatus to make fuel. Totally bad deal. Okay? But through that I learned, do not make fuel in your house. Okay? Next thing. Started a web design company. We did